Okay.
I think we start every episode with me snickering a little bit. So.
Hey everybody, I'm Wing Skull.
And I'm Adrian Tilley.
And this is Marshmallow and Mimosa. Yay!
Ding.
Episode 5. I felt like I was ready, and then my brain just went blank. So,
we were going to talk about how imperfect you are.
Actually, yeah, we were going to talk about imperfections today. So that's really that is a perfect way to talk about imperfections.
Yeah, and a really mean comment. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But first, as always, we can talk about what it is that we're into.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And I believe it's your turn, Adrian, to start first.
Great. What am I into?
Yeah, what are you into these days?
This will tie into what I'm talking about later, so let's do it. Another podcast. I think I talked about My Favorite Murder last time. Mm-hmm. Or the time before. One at the time.
2 episodes ago.
But there's another podcast I love called Alien Minute. And it started from... So there was this first podcast that started called Star Wars Minute. And they went through the Star Wars movies minute by minute. They would watch 1 minute every day, like Monday through Friday. And then they would talk about each minute for like 10 or 20 minutes. It's really intense.
It sounds kind of exhausting, but also I'm curious. Yes,
it's great. And I listened to, I think, all of the original series for Star Wars, even though I don't like Star Wars that much, but I like podcasts. And so that spawned a bunch of other movies by minute podcasts. There's like a website called like movies by minutes or something that you can like go look up and see if you like them. Like you're like, oh, I love that movie, and you can.
Perfect.
But there's one called Alien Minute, and they did all of Alien, like 1979 Alien, and they just started. They're on episode 15 of Aliens right now, and theirs is so good because it's like one of them's like a film teacher, and the other one's like some kind of other film background, and they bring in a lot of people that are like I can't talk about how much I love that. It's just like warms my soul every time I listen to it. I love them so much. And they have like amazing guests. Like when they had, when the chest burster comes out in the Alien movie, they had somebody from Laika come on. Like it's a local Portland company that did like Kubo and the Two Strings, and they did a bunch of other movies that I'm forgetting. Box Trolls and Coraline. Oh. Yeah, and so they're like a local puppet studio. And so they brought on these 2 people that make the puppets to talk about the puppet that comes out of the guy's chest.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then they had like a UX designer come in for the part where she's like doing the self-destruct box to talk about the interface.
Oh my God.
It was so lovely.
That's amazing. Actually, so true story. Mm-hmm. A couple episodes ago, we were talking about the Halloween parties that I used to throw. And at the sci-fi one of my friends came with the chest burster. Uh-huh. Like he had this white shirt that he like stained with, fake blood, and then had I don't even remember how he had it, but he had one of those like chest burster plushies. Mm-hmm. And somehow he had like strapped it to his actual chest, so it looked like it was bursting out of the shirt. It was fantastic.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I'd want to do. I'd make that, and I'm like, go to work with it on. Everybody's like giving me like what the fuck kind of look.
I mean, it was actually also perfect too, because he already had the plushie, because that's just the kind of person that he is.
Yep.
So the only thing that he had to do was buy this like white t-shirt that was super cheap and could be easily destroyed, some fake blood, and then he just wore like jeans and regular clothes otherwise. So
just one of the civilians on the LV 26 or whatever, 426. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're like, yeah, sure. Yeah, that's the plan. That sounds right.
Yeah. That sounds very planetary.
So there's like people are doing like at April 26th, 426 is Alien Day now. So that's why,
I love that. Yeah. That's beautiful. I derailed us. Are you into other
I was
things?
done now.
Oh,
no.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I finished the King Killer Chronicle, and then I had an existential crisis for a little bit, and I made a little animation about it.
Understand?
Yeah, my feelings.
That animation, by the way, is amazing. We should post that. We'll post that on the Instagram.
Oh, sure. I can cross-post it over there.
If you have ever gotten to the end of the second book in a really epic trilogy where the third book is not yet out, you will understand this. Like, this animation speaks to my soul on such a deep level. It's like 10 seconds long, but your life will be changed.
Yeah.
Or you'll feel like not alone anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to learn After Effects and making little like animated loop GIFs from like vector art right now, so that was the perfect first project. So
yeah, it was fantastic. So I'm sure you all can just imagine the kind of things that we're going to be making, that Adrian's going to be making, and that we will post on the Instagram.
Well, you recommended the book to me. It came up as like you probably like these books, and I was like, I feel like Winx has talked about these before.
And I've talked about this before, yeah.
And then you ripped my soul out. You ripped my heart out of my chest and
actually
killed it. So.
One of our coworkers, or one of my coworkers, I recommended those books to him, and he was like actually mad at me afterwards.
Because I saw it because I looked up like the most recent thing about it, and it was like February 2017, and he was like, "Who knows when it's going to come out?" Like my publishers won't let me write anything else now. No,
and they haven't let him write anything else for like 2 years.
Yeah. Oh, and I read the Slow Regard of Silent Thanks. With Arnie. Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, I really like that one. Man, those books.
And it was funny because it's like reading them is like, now I'm getting really into this, but like reading them is kind of like, the pacing ended up being kind of weird in the second book. I don't know, it was kind of like, and then he was there, and then he ran over this way, and then he was doing this other thing, and then he came over here, and then this other thing happened, and I was just like...
That's the thing, is like, these books are so long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're like 900-page tomes, each book. And it's like, he does a lot, but at the same time, the plot doesn't really move forward that much. But it's the kind of stuff that I just eat it all like candy, like every word.
I feel like there's going to be spoilers for like 30 seconds, starting right now.
Okay.
But when he killed the bandits, and then he went over to go with the sword people.
Oh, yeah, I forget the name of them.
That felt very abrupt. I was like... And then I was like, wait, what about the fucking king and stuff? Like, what? Like you're learning, like, Tai Chi, and, like, so I liked it, but also it felt very abrupt to me. I don't know. And also, I really wanted him and Fella to get together, not Denna. I didn't really like Denna.
I mean, that's fair. I
get that she's, like, complicated and, like, but I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I felt like, I don't have a good sense of her.
I do feel like I know Fella, though, and she's great.
No, I totally get that feel. Like,
yeah. Do you pronounce it Fella?
Yeah.
Okay. Or Fela, or like I couldn't, like, because I said it out loud and it sounded like fella. So
yeah, it's one of those things that, like, I'm sure I pronounce in a very particular way when I read it in my head, but, like, out loud, I don't know if I've actually ever said it out loud, but I would probably say fella.
And I like Simon, too, so it's like...
Yeah, I mean,
I'm glad they got together, but I still feel like...
Yeah.
She would have been good, like, grounding, but I guess he wants to go and live out his life and doing crazy things. So.
Yeah, and I mean, like, there's some sort of, like, mysterious universe thing happening, too, because, like... He keeps seeing Denna, like, she keeps coming into his life in some way, so, like, there's some, I don't know, there's, like, intrigue there, I think.
Yeah.
Some mystery.
I think it's just, like, I see how broken their relationship is.
It's not, it doesn't seem healthy.
No, that's why I'm like, no, but you'd have such a healthy, solid relationship with Fella, and then, like, Denna is just, like, this super, like, oh, just leave in the middle of the night because I angered another guy. And I'm like, like, I just...
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like somehow they're not going to get together.
No. I mean, this is not a good prediction, but I think she's going to die.
I'm dead. I mean, that's fair. I feel like something else is going to happen. Yeah. That's kind of how I feel. I feel like it's leading up, and we keep seeing him go back to her and think he's going to go to her, but I feel like somehow...
Well, I mean, clearly...
It's not going to happen.
Yeah. And then the whole thing with the tree and the prophecies. We're way past 30 seconds of spoilers, but...
Okay, yeah.
I was like, what? Now it's like... Everything has changed now. It's like fate has, like, dictating his whole life now, and, like, I don't know. It's just, like... I can imagine. I wonder if he like planned out the whole book, the whole series, and he has a good ending, or if he like it's like Lost territory, like the show Lost, where they just kept on adding things, and then it just kind of like
out of control.
Yeah, they got out of control. Yeah, so I guess we'll find out whenever that book comes out.
We'll find out. I have high hopes, but I also tend to be like a forever optimist, so
yeah,
I'm like, I'm sure it's gonna be amazing.
And they were, and obviously I really like them. It's just kind of like I think I'm like I get myself like I start lowering my expectations whenever I'm gonna go see a movie or something I'm really excited about, just so I don't get too
right, because
then if blown out of the water when I get it.
If it's terrible, you're not super disappointed, but if it's great, it's just huge win.
Yeah. The last book 7 in the Abortion series, which you need to read sometime. Okay. Sabriel is the first one. That was the book I'm gonna buy you the Sabriel at some point because it's so good. But like book 7 came out like a few months ago, and a friend of mine had read it, and they were just like, I don't know, it just kind of was like meh. And then I read it, and I was like, I thought it was great. You know, like I didn't have any expectations going into it. You know, but
I'm excited to read this because you've been telling me about that one for a while.
It's so good.
Yes, so many books.
Yeah.
So I have several things I want to talk about for my like what I've been into lately. Okay. So I'm just gonna like take over this convo right now.
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay. First off, because I apparently have to update the world on Anne from Instagram / who's going to be the dungeon master for our D&D group every single time, I have to just tell you that she got a new cat. She now has 3 cats.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Is she going to share Instagram? Like, is she?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I posted it.
Good.
So yeah, she has a new kitten, and it's another Flame Point Siamese, which was the breed that Dargo was.
Oh, okay.
And she has the Tauntaun is also Flame Point, so she now has 2 Flame Points, and then Leia is the one that's like has one eye and is like super long hair, fluffy, and just like they're all so cute. So super excited about that. The next thing
What's the name of the cat?
Beru.
Beru?
Yeah.
Is that from Star Wars too?
I'm pretty sure.
Is that a planet?
Actually, I should double check this because okay, hold on. Beru Lars. As a young, shy girl, Beru White Sun's aspirations did not reach beyond Tatooine. She was content to marry Owen... Oh, okay. It's,
Can I see the picture?
Yeah, it's, Luke's aunt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aunt Maru, whatever?
Beru.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Mm-hmm. See, I love this. I love this thing that she does. Mm-hmm. But we got a tweet.
I really want one of the robot names. Like, that would make me happy.
Oh, yeah. I used to have every single one of the bounty hunter. It was like this drawing of the bounty hunters, this collection I got at Comic-Con, or Wizard World in Chicago. And so it had like those would be great names. For all of them, you know?
Yeah, sometimes my husband and I speculate on what our future cat and dog names will be. And I was thinking, like, sushi would be really cute for cat.
That would be really cute.
And then we have a lot of, like, breakfast foods for animals. We're really on our first dog to be hash browns.
That would be good, too. I think I've told you this before, but I, at some point, want to have 2 cats. And I want to name
Toast.
One of them I want to name Biscuits, and one I want to name Gravy.
Cute.
However, if you get 2 dogs and you want to name them with breakfast food...
Yeah.
You can go ahead and take those names. Because basically, I just want that to exist in the world.
Toast. I was really set on Toast. Toast is also just a good dog name. They're really good.
So that's a solid dog name.
Yeah. But, I think it's Flapjack. Something like that. Yeah.
That would also be cute.
There's this one person, and they had their names, their cat names, Time and Space. And I was like, that's almost too cute.
That is like almost too cute, but I love it.
I know.
It's so good.
2 black cats or something.
So I have to share this.
Okay.
Because Anne tweeted at us earlier today, and I'm showing a picture. If you go on our Twitter, I actually retweeted this, but it is, in fact, one of the cats that I talked about a couple episodes back with black fur and orange eyes.
Yeah. Whose cat is that?
Anne's friend, apparently.
Oh my goodness! I don't think I've ever seen a cat like that. Actually, it looks like Photoshop or something.
No, that is a cat that exists in the world, and it's amazing. And so, thank you, Anne, for sharing that because that made my day. And I was like, I almost sent you a message to tell you about that, but I was like, no, I'm going to do it live on the podcast.
You're the authentic.
Yeah, exactly. I did not want that gasp to be
manufactured.
Exactly. I wanted it to be in the moment. one other thing that I thought of this week, which made me really happy. So obviously the marshmallow in Marshmallow Mimosa we talked about before is named after Adrian's cat.
Mm-hmm.
And but I actually realized, so I talked about the Flame Point Siamese breed, and my kitty Dargo was a Flame Point Siamese, and I actually used to call him my toasted marshmallow because the coloring on those cats looks like a lightly toasted marshmallow.
Oh, he just came back into your life in the small way.
Yeah, and I just that made me really happy.
Yeah, so the coloring with Dargo and the squishiness with Big Girl.
Yeah.
It fits.
And then just Mosa, because she just deserves her own word and everything.
Yep. She's a drama queen, so yeah.
She has to have at least half of the title.
Yeah, I mean, Big Girl would not, she hates being called cute. Like, she's just like, I'm not cute. I'm, like, tough and, like, huge, and everybody's scared of me. And you're like, right. Yeah, sure, they are. You're so cute.
Yeah, so those are my random things that I just had to throw out there. As far as what I've been doing, I haven't done a whole lot this week. I did finally get like fully caught up on Adventure Zone, but then the latest episode came out, and it's the last one in this arc.
I haven't listened to the last like 3 or 4.
I was gonna listen to it. I didn't end up doing it. But then my girlfriend just did, and she was, like, emotionally wrecked. So, I don't...
It's such a good story.
I know. So, like, I don't know what happened, but, like...
That's good to know.
I was gonna listen to it while I did some stuff at work, and she was like, I advise you to not do that. Like, you should wait until you're at home with, like, cats to cuddle, because, like, emotions.
Yeah.
So,
I bet, though, man.
Prepare yourself for that. And apparently it's, like, an hour and a half long. It's, like, a big one.
I didn't watch the last episode of Downton Abbey or there was like our season or something. There was like an in-between episode to get into like the last season, and I was like, I found out that my favorite character died, and I'm like, I can't do it.
Can't watch it. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I didn't get any details besides, like, oh my god, my feelings.
I really can imagine some of the things. So yeah, it's going to be rough.
So yeah, I'm going to do that at some point, but I haven't got there yet.
Okay, yeah, me too. Like emergency pocket. We both listened to it at the same time, and then we like authentic reactions and like
real time.
Yeah, like I'll get on my microphone at home and we'll just I just.
So if we are like just a complete mess in the next thing that you hear, you'll know why. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, I feel like this week I've just been kind of doing project stuff and kind of catching up on work things. I had a fibro flare that lasted like forever, but I'm finally feeling better today. Oh, and I did want to also say, we talked recently about, in the last episode, we talked about some apps that we enjoy, and you told me about that Noisily one. Yeah? Totally finished a project yesterday while I was listening to a thunderstorm near some sort of running faucet that was within a coffee shop, and it was fantastic.
I love it.
So that was.
Glad you like it. Yeah,
that was $1.99 well spent, and I'm very pleased with that.
Mine's like high volume fire, low volume wind, and maybe a little bit of rain.
Yeah, see, I haven't messed with the volumes yet. I just did like a full combo.
You gotta do the volumes too.
Yeah, I mean, this was just dipping my toe into it, you know. Yeah. So it was.
Put on. You should do like boat noises, coffee shop, train tracks. Like,
I was like, I like this thing and this thing and this thing, so I'm just gonna mix them all together. This is basically how I cook, where I'm just like,
that's what's great. I love that happen. And they're like cute icons. And you're just like, ooh.
Yeah. So I've just tapped them all. So that was fantastic. The only other thing that I've been doing is that I decided, I can't remember if I've actually talked about this on the podcast, but maybe I did. I did. I was talking about how I started listening to like J-rock and J-pop recently. And so fun fact, I took 3 years of Japanese in college because it would have made a lot more sense for me to do like Spanish, but I was tired of it. I
took sign language at the end of the day just because it was easier for me to learn that.
I wish I would have taken, I did like 1 semester course of sign language, but I wish now that I would have taken more, because that's actually come up several times in my life where it would have been really handy to know that. And everybody should learn a little sign language.
Yeah.
It's very helpful.
It's very distracting when you see somebody talking in sign language, especially if you know a few words and you're like, oh, they're talking about school, and you're like, stop looking, like, you're eavesdropping.
Don't be rude. But yeah, so I just decided that I'm going to do some Japanese because Duolingo just added Japanese to their phone app. So
a lot of people talk about that app, but I've never tried it.
You know, it's kind of hit or miss for me. As I'm going through this, a lot of it is kind of refreshing, like what I learned in college. I feel like they really don't give you. I feel like they should give you a little bit more info. There's certain times where they're like, they say something in Japanese and you're supposed to translate it, but one of the words that they said, they've never actually told you what it means. And so it's like sometimes you can kind of guess.
Maybe that's what they're trying to do. Like, you know, you're like sometimes when you're like reading like a lot of definitions of like before I got a Kindle, I didn't realize that I didn't really know the exact definition of something. I had just like guessed it, inferred it by the words around, like with the context of the sentence. Then I like started going like, oh, I was right. You know, like clicking all the words.
No,
and, like
that's totally fair. And that could be what they're doing, and maybe that would. I don't know how it would be if I didn't know any Japanese going in. Basically, I feel like because I have some background in it. I've had an easier time just going through and picking it up and like remembering the things and. You know, some things sound familiar enough, and like the structure of the sentences, like there's really nothing going on. They don't teach any of that, and Japanese relies a lot. Tough. Yeah. And Japanese relies a lot on particles. So instead of being like Adrian eats food, you would be like Adrian particle, food particle eats. Yeah. But they don't address that. They just kind of like keep saying sentences that use them until you kind of pick them up, I guess, by just being exposed to it. Yeah. So maybe that works for people. I don't think I would be able to pick that up if I didn't already know about the particles and stuff. Yeah. So that's my one thing that I will say. If you are listening and want to try Duolingo.
Do they have other languages like
they have
Chinese?
A ton of languages.
Well, I was just wondering if they had other languages that are built that way that aren't really romantic languages.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have several on there. I don't know exactly. I don't know, but they have a huge list of languages, so I would think that they would have like a pretty wide variety.
It's making me want to learn sign language again, because the sign language also has the same thing of particles. Like, like my teacher was describing, it's like instead of being like, there's a little man in a house who's having dinner or something. You're like, there's an old man. There's a house, and inside the house is old man, and that man is eating. And then like just like having to be like, and you have to like build all that with your hands and kind of from the.
No, totally. Yeah. So yeah, but I, as someone who has learned Japanese before, I am enjoying Duolingo to go back through. So I've been trying to do a few minutes of that every day, and it's been very fun. Anyway, so that's all of my rambles on what I've been doing. So we can jump right in. So we came up with a couple topics, and they're kind of loosely tied together in this particular episode. So first we're going to talk about dealing with imperfections in projects and work and things that you want to be putting out into the world, and at what point you stop like fiddling with the thing that you're working on and just put it out there. So this is, see, how did I even tie this together? This was
You're the one that wanted to tie it, so it's all on you.
This is the stuff that we can't stop nitpicking on. And then we're also going to talk about the stuff that we can't stop, like gushing about our interest. That sentence made no sense. No one has any idea what we're going to talk about. Just,
it's a surprise.
Just ride the wave with us, folks. Yep. And yeah, just ignore all the rambles that you just heard because they don't make sense. So first thing, dealing with imperfections. I felt like this was a very appropriate topic at this point in time because I'm noticing an interesting kind of both sides of the coin that I'm experiencing. Because making videos is something that I went through a lot of kind of struggles with dealing with the imperfections that were in my videos. And that at this point now I've made enough. I made like 100-something videos on my YouTube channel. Awesome. I know. Sometimes I look at that and I'm just like, wow, that's my life. But I'm at a point now where I will make a video and I'll notice that, like, the whole time my hair was doing something funny, or I said something and the word was just totally wrong, or I used the wrong name, something blah, blah, blah. At this point, I usually don't have the time or energy to care. And so I just, like, if I can, I'll put up a little, like, bit of text that will pop up on the video and be like, oh, I actually meant this thing, even though I said this other thing. And sometimes I use it sort of as, like, an exercise in vulnerability.
Mm-hmm. And I love it when people do that. It makes me, like, it showing that vulnerability and just being, like, laughing at yourself. Makes me love the person so much more when I'm watching them.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll, just to kind of make myself make fun of it, I've done, it doesn't happen that often, but anytime I will do, like, a weird face, like, sometimes the cats will scare me because they'll jump and I'll kind of, like, make a face. Or one time, I think I told you about this before, Adrian, but I was showing off this new book that I'd gotten, and it was one that had the French flaps where the page kind of, like, folds in, the cover does, so you can use it like a bookmark. And I was holding the book up and I was showing it off, and I wanted to show off the flaps, so I kind of, like, opened the cover to like fold it all out so you could see. And as I did that, I just lost control of the book, and it was one of those, you know, like, juggling it in the air trying to catch it, and I'm making these, like, weird faces, like tucking my chin into my neck, and, like, and I'm sitting here trying to be all, like, Vanna White, like, here's this book, like, look at this lovely page and this lovely cover, and then just, like, so I totally just did it and then replayed it in slow motion.
That's amazing.
And just put that in, and just, like, no comment on it, and then just kept going with the video.
Now this is a slightly more battered version of this book.
Just moving on. So yeah, doing stuff like that, I think, definitely helped me get past that sort of weirdness, because there have been times where I am so bothered by something, like the lighting is so bad that I just don't want to even put the book out or put the video out. Thinking about books now. But it's also interesting because doing podcasting, even though it's similar because you're just recording content and then putting it out there, just listening to myself talk without seeing my face, it's so much more different than I expected. And so, like, for one, I feel that my voice the way I talk sounds different. And I think a lot of that is because I'm talking with someone instead of just talking to my camera.
Yeah, you get into your video voice, like, at the end of whatever, like, a couple episodes ago. It got into, like, it sounded like it was, like, instant, like, NPR. And, like,
yeah. And it's cool because I've kind of noticed more, because I heard people, especially on, like, BookTube and stuff, talk about how their personality is in their videos and how like, on point that is with their actual personality. And I don't know, I guess I didn't think about it too much, and I was always just kind of, you know, I mean, it's not that I haven't created a personality for my videos, but it's hard to be your full personality, I guess, when it's just you talking.
Talking at an imaginary people.
Exactly, yeah. So you kind of start just talking in a certain way, and then that's just how you do your videos. And I noticed, both in the times that I've had Jess over to do our Books with Bae videos that we do, and then when we do these podcasts, the way that I talk is a lot more animated. And I have, like, a different tone to my voice because I'm, like, cracking a joke or something. Or, like, I don't know. It's really interesting to see the way that having that other person there totally changes.
Do you want that to be more of your normal? Do you want your normal video, like, without people, to be more like that?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not, like, upset about the way that my videos are.
No, but I just wonder if it's something that you feel like it would be an improvement, or if it's like, no, I like how those are, or something.
The one thing that I have noticed is that when I get more animated, well, okay, so one of the things that I know a lot of people like about my videos is people say that my videos are very calm.
Sure.
Which is, I think true. And because some people have this like ASMR response to my voice, which is weird. I mean, it's not weird that you have it, but it's weird that my voice can do that.
It's weird to you.
Yeah, it's weird to me. Because of that, I think people enjoy my videos being calm.
Sure.
So I think people also enjoy seeing more into the real life of YouTubers that they enjoy. When I did the vlog video from a couple weekends ago, people really enjoyed that, and they said, they would like to see more things like that. Mm-hmm. It's fun to just see more of what is actually happening in sure. someone's life. Yeah. And I think people enjoy seeing me like laughing and whatever with Jess. That's fun. But I don't know. It's it makes the videos not so. You're not going to listen to it for ASMR, I guess. I don't know.
Have you had? No, I'm just kidding. Like,
yeah.
Do people comment on the videos about liking one or the other more or anything?
Not really. It's. Oh, okay. I think it's kind of.
Not that you would necessarily really.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't. Maybe I'll do a discussion video, see what people think. It's kind of cool because in BookTube, it's such a community that at this point, the people who mostly comment on my videos are people who have become my online friends. There's a lot of sort of the same people who comment on the videos, and that, if they have channels, I'll watch them. And, so it's like we just have this sort of friend group going on. So a lot of the people who comment on the videos and who enjoy the videos, like the people who comment on the videos, are going to like the ones with Jess probably just as much as they like my normal ones, because they like my normal content, but they like me as a person, I think. Yeah. So I hope so.
Sure, that makes sense.
So it's not as much, I don't get too much new people coming in and just like...
I got you off topic, though.
Oh, no, it's fine. Okay. I feel like this is going to be a really rambly episode.
Deal with it.
I know. Not that our other ones haven't been incredibly rambly. But yeah, so I don't know. I feel like doing podcasting has kind of opened up a new level of those imperfections. Like there's things that I say when I'm editing, and I'll say something, and sometimes it's in a part where it's like, well, it makes more sense to take it out because what I just said actually makes no sense when you're just listening to it.
Right. Yeah.
But sometimes there isn't really a good reason to take it out, except that I sound kind of stupid, in my opinion.
This is totally only you. Like, when I'm listening, there's never anything that I feel like you say that's like that. But I hear it my own, and so it's just like...
And see, the same thing. Like, I would never...
Yeah, you think,
all your stuff sounds fine. And I'm just like, oh, God, why can't I just...
I have this weird kind of dissociation, because I feel like it's been weird for me to hear my own voice this much. It almost seems like I'm listening to a different person. And so it actually makes, like editing and stuff a lot easier.
Well, also, more objective, yeah.
I forget 90% of the things we say on here, so when I listen to it again, I'm like, oh my God, that was funny. I'm like, wow.
I totally do that, too.
I'm self-absorbed right now.
Sometimes I feel like a huge narcissist because I'm just, like, listening to myself tell a joke, and I'm just like, wow, that was such a good one, Wings. Like,
I was telling you, I was out. You had edited the episode and just put it, and I was like, yeah, just put it out. I hadn't listened to it yet, and so and I was like, I trust you to do it. And so I was like, okay, I feel like I'm still at the point where I feel like I need to listen to all the episodes because I'm still trying to improve and whatever. Like at some point, we're gonna like not care that much or whatever,
right?
And I was listening to it at the outside of the park while I was eating lunch, and I was laughing in public at my own jokes. And I was like, wow. Oh my goodness.
I mean, I think that's a good sign. It's a sign that
I guess so.
We're at least doing...
Yes.
We're doing it well enough that we enjoy.
That's the only
that's all that counts.
Exactly. Yeah, you should be making things that you like. Yeah, exactly. That's the point. Because I was when you were talking about, like, it's hard to edit just a free-flowing conversation, right? Yeah. So, and I prefer podcasts that are just more conversational, and clearly don't have a lot of edits, and it's funny when they clearly meant to edit something out, but they missed it. It's always funny too. But so it's like theoretically we could have a very scripted podcast where we like kind of write everything out, and it's and it's like we do an intro and they're like, oh, that didn't sound right. Like people do multiple intros and stuff, but I'm like, yeah, screw it.
See, and that's I think this is good for me that we do it like that, because when I do my videos, I don't script my videos. Those a lot of times, if it's a more in-depth, like a book review or whatever, I'll make a lot of notes of things that I want to talk about. But because I'm sitting there in front of the camera by myself, if I stumble over a sentence, I'll re-say it like 5 times until I say it in the way that I think sounds the way that I want it to.
Yeah.
If I have like a point that I want to make and I use the wrong word, I'll catch it and I'll just fix it. Whereas with this, we're just having this conversation and then I'm just rambling and describing something and then I listen back to it and it's, oh man, sometimes it takes a couple episodes ago when I was talking about sort of the geography of Missouri and trying to describe what is actually a really simple thing, that I live in the middle of Missouri and there's not as much of an accent there, but there's kind of a little bit of twang. And so I say a few things in the way, like a small accent, period. It's not that complicated, but for some reason I was really struggling with describing that and listening to myself do that. It's one of those things that I kind of cringe at, but then I also feel that it's good for me to just put it out there and just accept that,
it sounded fine.
It sounded kind of rambly, but I think people get what I was saying.
Yeah.
And it's, I think this part of it.
I'm going wait, what do you mean? Over on the side of the table. Then,
right.
Yeah.
I think that part of it is going to be, I think that's going to help my videos, and helping me get through, if I stumble over a word or if I say the wrong thing, just moving past it. So I think the two of them together is a very good thing. Yeah. Yeah. Did you have anything else you'd like to say about dealing with imperfections?
Oh my goodness. I didn't have any specific stories, I never do until I think of one, but I couldn't think of any. Art is just a constant thing. You just have to learn when to let something go. So, because you could literally just work on one thing forever and never feel good about it. So it's just I don't know when that happens. Just I don't know. But it's I constantly feel I look back at my art from last week and I'm look at all the flaws that nobody notices. Just being
that's so true.
I'm just having to believe that and just move past it. So.
Right. Well, it's one of those things too, if you don't look back at your art and see things that you could have improved on.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're exactly now you have grown, obviously, because you see the flaws when you look back. Yeah. I feel with Book Bath Box, that is one way where this is kind of interesting. I didn't think about this story before filming or recording. I will never be able to verb properly.
All you watchers out there, whatever.
Yeah. With Book Bath Box, when I see something that I don't think is perfect, I will shut it down.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm that is one thing. The stuff that I'm putting out for, and I think it's probably because people are paying for it.
Sure. Yeah.
You're
building a reputation for it.
Yeah, exactly. I care a lot about the quality of that. Whereas with YouTube, no one is paying me to make my videos. I get a little ad money if you let the whole thing play through before my video.
And it's that's more like art. It is which everybody should not have ad blocker for YouTube because you're cutting out money for those creators. By the way,
that's true. Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of people realize that.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that until I started YouTube.
Yeah, so you shouldn't. Yeah, I'm of course I'll 15 seconds of my life to give them. These creators weren't.
Yeah, that is, fun fact. If you didn't know that, which like I said, I didn't know that until I actually started YouTube. The only way that YouTubers get any sort of money, besides if they have paid, sponsors or whatever for the videos, but it's through the ads that play. So if you let the whole thing play through, then that YouTuber gets a few cents. And it happens enough, then you get a few dollars, and you have to have, I think, 30,000 subscribers to be able to make minimum wage from that kind of stuff. But it's still you're supporting them. Yeah. And it's
equipment,
15
whatever,
minutes of,
anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's 15 seconds of your life. So it's very nice and very much appreciated from the content creators out there if you let those ads play. But I forgot where I was going with this.
I just got in there.
Basically, besides that, I don't make money from YouTube, and it's not why I make my videos.
Yeah.
I make my videos because it's fun and I like the community. So embracing the imperfections is more for me than for anyone.
Well, our 15 podcast listeners, we're rolling in money here too.
Exactly. Yeah, but like with Book Bath Box, if I see something going awry, like I did it for this upcoming box. I won't say the details because it's not out yet, but
I know the story.
yeah, Adrian knows the story. There was one item in the box that I had started working on and realized that it wasn't up to my standards, and it wasn't perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't deal with that. And so I just ate the cost, and I luckily had only made I'd only paid for a portion of the order so far, so only a portion had been made, so I didn't order the rest, and I found a replacement item, and I like that a lot better, so that's what I'm sending out. I just refuse to send out a box that I am not over the moon with.
Yeah.
Which I guess possibly adds to my stress load, and maybe I should evaluate how intense I am about that, but
yeah, but you're only a year into this business venture, so
exactly.
Yeah,
so,
I'd probably feel the same way about it. Yeah.
But yeah, so imperfections. Sometimes you gotta embrace them.
Yep.
You gotta run with it, and then you grow.
And then you grow.
It's beautiful.
So beautiful.
So beautiful. So the more fun topic for today, we wanted to talk about some of our favorite genres, because even though part of the sort of theme of this podcast is that we both are entrepreneurial ladies out doing cool projects and want to share some of that with you, in order to be an entrepreneur, you also have to have some way of self-care and fun and all that.
And we're super nerds.
Yeah. And so that's just if you can't deal with that, you can't deal with this podcast.
Yeah.
And then you should just get out. I'm just kidding. Come back. I don't know. Adrian, you want to go first?
I don't know. I hope I have the structure correct, but generally we'll find out here.
I'm the person who comes up with structures usually because I'm really into
that.
Gonna
take Winx's lead. Oh, I'm first.
I can also go first. I just don't want to hog the whole thing here.
Well, my favorite genre is probably, if you listen to any other episodes, is horror. Mm-hmm. I love horror. And that's why I talked about Alien Minute earlier, because talking about some of my favorite horror movies, Alien and Aliens are great. They're fantastic. Aliens is a little bit more of action horror, but it's still
it's in the genre,
horror elements going on. And The Thing is my favorite movie. 1988, The Thing is fantastic. Have you seen it? With Kurt Russell and director John Carpenter.
I actually have not seen it.
Okay. I don't know how a lot of people... And then there's even more women are kind of too sensitive or something to watch horror. So I don't know if you're that made it was very derogatory. Sorry. I just wish more women liked horror movies. It just kind of saddens me.
I like the genre. I like certain things from it. Mm-hmm. I don't watch I don't know what it is, but I don't usually watch a ton of movies.
Sure. Oh, okay.
It's one of the things when I watch them, I usually will end up enjoying them. Mm-hmm. But when I'm getting ready to watch them, it feels like too much of a commitment, even though I'll instead watch a whole season of a TV show.
Yeah, I get you though. Yeah. I have to sometimes go it's okay, you can turn it off. It's okay.
Yeah.
If you don't want to watch the whole thing, you don't have to watch the whole thing,
Right. I do really like paranormal type of
mm-hmm.
ghost stuff.
Yeah. So I could always lend you the Blu-ray, because actually for my husband's birthday, we love John Carpenter. He's our favorite director, so I got him The Thing and Big Trouble in Little China, and one other one I'm blanking on. It's another John Carpenter movie, but I got him 3 John Carpenter movies on Blu-ray. We don't have any Blu-rays because we don't ever do that, but they have the director's commentary on them. And the director's commentary for John Carpenter movies are the best, because they are, it's usually Kurt Russell's and Escape from New York. That's the other one. Kurt Russell's usually one of the lead characters in his movies, and there's something about Kurt Russell I love. I love him. I just love him. He's just seems like the most lovable person. And And so it'll be like the director's commentary is I'm just watching the movie again and having it like you can hear them like drinking scotch and just like chit chatting and they're just really good friends. And it's just lovely. It's like a fantastic podcast about like my favorite movies, basically.
That's adorable.
Yeah, so I can always lend you the thing, DVD, Blu-ray, if you want.
I actually don't have a Blu-ray player.
Yeah, do you? Well, you got a computer or something. I don't know. I don't know how you play this anymore. We have a PlayStation that plays it, so. Yeah,
actually, this is the problem in my life at this moment. Mm-hmm. I have I guess my desktop might play it. I actually just got my desktop out of the closet today because I wanted to, I finally got a new external hard drive and I wanted to move some stuff off of it before it totally died. But I hardly ever actually use it because I just use my laptop for everything. So I don't have a laptop that has a disk drive.
Yeah.
And the only console that I have is a Wii, which is, despite having the exact type of drive that you would play a DVD or Blu-ray on, it does not play them. So I actually have no device to play a disc.
Well, one day, I guess. You can watch it.
I really need to get on that at some point.
I'm not going to go into the plot of it. We can watch the trailer after this or something, but it's my favorite movie. It's great. Yeah. And I just want to say Jaws is just another one to take off because it's like, I feel like that was the first thing that my husband and I bonded on. We like realized we both like Jaws. And
That's really cute.
Super horror nerds. So the other thing I was going to talk about is like how I got into horror, and then the last thing was like recommendations for newbies.
Yes.
And so, do I want to talk about how I got into it, and then you talk about your stuff, and then I talk about then we talk about recommendations? Or do you want to switch off? Do you want me to just keep on talking?
I don't know. Why don't we switch back and forth? This seems like it'll.
Okay. Do you want me to talk about how I got into it first, or do you want to go here?
I'll do my intro thing. Okay. So my favorite genre is not a surprise to anyone who like follows me anywhere. Is science fiction and fantasy, which I mean, you could separate them out, but
very close second to me. I mean, sci-fi horror is my favorite.
Yeah. Okay. See, legit. I would say that if I absolutely had to choose between sci-fi and fantasy, I would probably go for fantasy, like epic fantasy.
Magic.
Yeah, magic is good. But I mean, I love sci-fi, so it's asking me to choose would be like the meanest thing of anything that you could ask me to do.
I'm resisting, but no, I'm not gonna.
I mean, but I already answered. Like,
yeah,
they're both my children, but I would sacrifice this one child if I had to.
One of them is slightly uglier than the other one.
Yeah, like I
love it slightly.
I have a slight preference for this child over the other one. So yeah, and I just love it because to me it's the ultimate escape.
Yeah,
you know,
I guess I didn't talk about this with horror. But
that's true. We can throw it back to you. Yeah, I just feel like it's the ultimate escape of fantasy or sci-fi adventure, and mostly I consume these through books, but obviously,
yeah, I went all movies.
I mean, that's
I don't
fair,
actually read a lot of horror, but I read a lot of sci-fi and fantasy. So.
See, that's fair. Yeah. Which actually, that reminds me. So my sort of runner-up genre is mystery because I love Sherlock Holmes. Mm-hmm. And I actually just got recommended a book the other day, which I wanted to tell you about because it is a like crossover of Sherlock Holmes and Jekyll and Hyde.
Okay.
So like Jekyll/Hyde's child goes to Sherlock Holmes with a case. Mm-hmm. So, it's called The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter. And this was recommended to me just recently. And so I think I'm going to actually pick up the audiobook for while I'm doing Book That Fox stuff.
Cool.
So
right
wanted to throw that your way. And then I will throw this conversation back to you as well.
I love how we're like, we had a structure, and then it's kind of like, I don't know how to do this.
I know.
I want to say, like, I feel like a lot of horror, like, books end up being kind of schlocky. So I end up not finding ones that are, like, the same level of, like, as, like, sci-fi fantasy. So I end up being, like, there's just a lot of, like, I don't know, it feels like you're at, like, the checkout counter at KFC, and there's, like, a $2 book there. That's, like, a lot of horror for me. And
Fair.
So, I don't know. I just never like them as much. But I love horror movies, so I don't know.
Totally fair.
But I think I talking about escapism and stuff is kind of reminding me of this, but I tell people why I like sci-fi and horror and things, because it feels like the ultimate, like it's when you throw humans into a insane situation and how they react to it, it feels like the better the writer, the more authentic the human reaction feels to you.
Yeah.
And so that kind of like why it's so intriguing to me. And also it kind of reminds me of like, so my brother used to never read fiction, and he started a couple years ago, apparently. He was talking to my dad about it, and he was saying that it's actually making him like kind of build a lot more empathy, because you, like, when you read nonfiction, it's all just like somebody talking about something, and it's not really getting into feelings, and you know, like, and so like when you read fiction, it's all about being in somebody's head and understanding their emotions as they're going through things and everything. And I was like, that's really interesting. I didn't even think about it that way before.
No, and I think one of the signs of a truly great author is when they can write a horrible character that you empathize with.
Totally, yeah.
Robin Hobb.
A good villain.
She does a really good job of that.
Good villains are amazing.
Yeah, I love those worlds where, like, there's not necessarily a line between... I mean, there is sort of a line, you know that this person is fighting for something that's pretty messed up, whereas this person is trying to stop them. But you can see
how they got there,
like how they got to this point in their life, and like the things that they went through that planted these ideas that this is what they need to do. And it's just, when there's the good characters have these pretty notable flaws, and when the bad characters have things that you empathize with, that just takes a book to another level.
Yeah, I've been just started The Golem and the Genie, which is a lot of people have recommended to me. I finally started reading it, and they have like a villain that they're talking about. I don't even know exactly if there's a villain yet, but he was talking about like how he got to where he was in that story, and like all the things he'd been through, and I was just like, damn, okay, like
that's so
real good so far.
So good.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about how you got into?
Sure. Yeah. I would say that I first got into fantasy because of Lord of the Rings.
Oh. Not The Hobbit at a young age?
I mean, I did like The Hobbit.
I like that a lot better.
I like The Hobbit, but and I enjoyed it, and it was one of the like 2 movies that my grade school had, and like whenever we would get for some reason it was that and Yellow Submarine. So like when we had a reward day, we would get to watch one of these movies. But and I enjoyed it, and I think, you know, fantasy was something that I liked, but I didn't fully dive into the genre until I was like 13, 14, and I started reading The Fellowship of the Ring.
Gotcha.
I think that's really when I was like, whoa, this world is huge. Like, there's so much to it. And then, you know, just like really following the story. And then that was actually near the time that the movies came out. So then, like, I had just broken into fantasy by reading the books. Then the movies came out, and like, at least at the time, those movies were phenomenal. Yeah. I mean, they're still good, but like the effects in them seemed so like out of this world.
Yeah, I'm scared to watch them again because they're so long. I'm like, I don't think I can handle it.
I rewatched them a couple years ago, and some of the effects are super cheeseball now.
Oh, no.
But they seemed so hardcore and spooky when I was watching them as like a 14-year-old. So that was definitely how I got into fantasy. Sci-fi has just basically always been there because growing up, I was obsessed with Star Trek.
Which one? Next Generation?
Next Gen.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to not go too far off with this tangent. But I had I lived out in the middle of nowhere. Like, our closest neighbor was a retired priest that lived like a half mile down the road, you know? So, like, there's not much to do as a child besides run around in the woods. But my brother and I recreated the Enterprise within our house.
Awesome.
My dad had built this, like, sort of platform stage thing for some play, and it was in our basement, and so that was the bridge, and we had a computer chair for the captain, and then somehow we had 2 school desks, so those were like the comm stations, which is perfect for a comm station, and we had like all of this plywood that we had just painted buttons on, and then we had like stuffed animals positioned at them, like around the back, and the basement had concrete walls, so we would just go and draw like ships and stuff, and we're like, oh, there's a Klingon ship incoming, like put them on the viewer. And so and those tubes that like dogs run through for obstacle courses, so we had those, and those were the Jeffries tubes.
Oh, perfect.
So we would crawl through. We were like, oh, we gotta go fix that panel in Sector 8. Like,
so cute.
The kitchen was 10 forward, and my mom was Guinan. And so she would like make us snacks. And we go on away missions out in the backyard. Like, it was really intricate, and we did this for years. We also had our characters. So my brother was always Riker. And our friend Darren was always Picard. I was always Data. And then one of our other friends, she wasn't as into it, but she would play because we were hanging out, you know. I'm pretty sure she always wanted to be Troy or Dr. Crusher, one of the pretty ones. And I'm pretty sure our brothers would be like, oh, yeah, that person, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, her name is Worf.
No.
So,
yeah, Troy would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure sometimes she was Troy, but the three others of us, we were the go-tos. And, like, my brother always had brown face paint, so you could do, like, the Riker beard. And I would always, like, slick back my hair, and I had baby powder, so I would put it on my face to be Data. And actually, my brother had the Riker costume, but because I am Hobbit-sized, I fit into, like, a 12-year-old boy's clothing. And now I have that Riker costume, and I keep it in my closet, and sometimes I wear it when, like, I need to pretend I am a science officer or something.
Awesome.
Yeah. So Star Trek has just always been there, and obviously that was that made sci-fi a immediate go-to for me.
Yeah. My dad is a huge fan of sci-fi. I got him into the... what's it called? It's the James Corey The Expanse series. I got him into that series, and we never call each other on phone. I see him like every other month, so we're just not, our whole family does not call each other. And he like called me like a month or two ago, and he was like I just finished the latest book, and I just want to talk to somebody about it, and also the show is really great, and you need to watch it. And I just wanted to talk about it because I just need to talk about sci-fi with somebody. I'm like, that's great. Let's always
fantastic.
do that.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So he's always been reading sci-fi since I was a kid and always loved it. So I think it's a strong influence.
That's fair, yeah.
He does not like horror, though. He's very scared of it. But
to each their own.
My mom liked horror. She had there were always like these VHSs that were like, tapes that were like, oh, we own that one. So I watched it 5 million times. And, we had Predator, and I watched, that's like loose horror. It's aliens. It's like sci-fi. It's horror stuff going on. And I remember my mom loved that movie, and we watched it, and she loved Alien too. And we watched it since I remember watching it, I was like 5 or 6, and then she'd be like, there's the part where like there's skinned people, and she'd be like, cover your eyes. And then I would like peek from my eyes. I'm like, it's not that bad. Whatever. 6-year-old or whatever.
Just like totally fine with it.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's like some kids can handle it, some can't. So it's like I really want my nieces and nephew to like horror and like, be not scared of monsters and stuff. But I don't think it's going to happen. They're both super sensitive. So I'm like,
one of my friends has a niece, and I just like. I want to be her friend when she's older, basically, because since she was like 3. She's loved spooky stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like her favorite game when she was really small was to pretend that ghosts were chasing her.
Oh my god.
She's like, let's run away from the ghosts.
I was terrified of ghosts when I was really young. Terrified. I actually for some reason I had this weird logic in my brain where I'd be like, the door has to be open because if a ghost got in here, they wouldn't be able to get out. I'm like, that doesn't make no sense. Why don't I close the door when there's no ghosts in there, and then I'm safe, but also they can go through doors? Like, how is this logic happening? I'm like 4 years old. That's why.
That makes sense for a 4-year-old, I guess.
I was terrified. I would just stare at the door, waiting for a ghost to come through the door,
so
sad. Till midnight every night.
Oh my god!
And I still love getting scared. So.
All right. So would you say that your love of horror came from?
I have no idea. I don't know where that came from because nobody in my mom had movies that she liked, so I think that was an influence. But I think there's just some people that love horror. Like, it's
Yeah.
always like 1 in 100 people love it, and I meet them, I'm like, oh my god, and we start talking, we get so excited, and we start talking about all our favorite directors, and like, it's like, there's like this certain type of person that's just, I don't know, like, I'm so glad Cole, my husband, is one, because it's just like, because we like gush about the new horror trailer coming out, and we're like, oh my god, we got 6 months for this horror movie to come out, and like, yeah. But I read all the Goosebumps books when I was like second or third grade. Yeah, and Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So you liked that stuff when you were a kid? But,
yeah. Actually, so I was gonna say, it's actually, I think that if I read more horror, I would like it more.
Right.
Because I love spooky stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love Halloween. I love, just, I mean, like, I was definitely gothic-ish when I was in high school. Like, I just love spooky stuff. So I don't know why I don't get more into the genre. Probably just because there's so much sci-fi and fantasy that is on my list.
Do you ever, I calculated this out. I'm like, I read 2 books a month-ish, and I have X many years on my life. And then you realize that you have X many books to read for the rest of your life. It's terrifying.
Like, I felt my chest clench up as you were saying that.
I just give you like one of those like existential crises about death, like just
right,
from like realizing that
like, let me pause.
There's a finite amount of books that you're going to be able to read. Yeah.
No, like, no, let's never think of this again.
Okay, let's pass it. I'm just scared every single person in the audience.
I know.
One thing I want to say about horror was that I read this thing a long time ago. I cannot remember where the heck it is, and maybe I'm speaking out of my ass, but we'll just go with it.
All right.
That introverts have a stronger reaction to adrenaline levels than extroverts do. And so I was reading about it, and they were talking about and things of like watching horror movies and stuff, that an introvert can be more sensitive to adrenaline of watching a horror movie. So it's like the equivalent of like a super extrovert, like going rock climbing or something. Like, okay. So you like, so like I could see that, like, it feels true to me, like when I'm watching a movie, and I do get scared by horror movies, but it's like, it's exhilarating. That's like why I watch it, why it's exciting,
That makes sense. And that actually, that kind of clicks too with why I might not do them as much, because normally my like media consumption is I want to calm down.
Right.
I want to chill out.
Yeah.
So if I start watching like The Descent and I can't like sleep for the night, like that's not going to really help me out.
Yeah, I don't, people get really creeped out when I tell them this, but I don't generally get nightmares when I watch horror movies. I think it's like watch so many, but when I do, I kind of find them enjoyable. Because
it's like part 2 of the movie.
Yeah, it's usually really interesting first if you actually look at it from like the point of view of like dreams are interesting.
Yeah.
And then I wake up and I feel like it's like on a timer, I could time it at 10 minutes. I feel the adrenaline leave my body and I'm like, oh, and I go right back to sleep. I think a lot of people can't sleep for like the rest of the night and stuff.
Yeah.
I definitely like, I get scared and I'm like looking around the room for like shadow people and stuff, but it's like, I can feel it when the adrenaline wears off and I'm instantly back to sleep. It's not a big deal to me. So they ended up being, because it's not a big deal, that they're kind of enjoyable. Because I wake up and I'm like, oh, well, in 10 minutes I'll be back asleep.
Yeah, so that makes sense for you. But
people get really disturbed when I tell them that, though.
I mean, that's an interesting thing. I don't get a lot of, I don't know that I've ever really gotten a true nightmare. I have dreams that are kind of like creepy sometimes.
I get zombie dreams and stuff after, especially if I watch the Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, yeah.
The new one, for whatever reason. I don't watch that movie very much. I don't like it that much. I hate the zombie baby. But it will guaranteed give me a zombie dream. But a lot of the zombie dreams I've had in the last couple of years have been like, this new invention that would make it harder for them to get through the door and all this. Like, I'm inventing ways to fight zombies and stuff in my dreams.
That's cool. Yeah. Jess has some really cool dreams. I mean, obviously sometimes they're scary experiences, but then she'll tell me about the actual story and it's like, wow, you should write that down because that's like a winning short story right there.
I know. I need to write down more because usually they're more like it's a movie and I'm following a character around. And it's very cinematic. It's not me, going like, oh, I recognize this house and then it melted away and then
Yeah.
If I'm going to tell somebody about my dream, I go, it has to be under 30 seconds, and it has to be funny, and it has to have, a point to it. That's it. That's the only reason I would ever tell anybody about a dream. It's just...
Very strict.
Yeah, because when people ramble about their dreams, they're remembering it as they're talking about it. I'm like, oh, no.
it can be like a pretty long experience.
Yeah, because you can see them remembering it, and you're like, okay. Like, I have a good dream, I have to, like, think it over right as I wake up, because I'm like, oh, that was awesome. Like, I need to remember this dream.
Yeah.
So I, like, think it over, and I, like, build it into, like, a little 30-second story, so I kind of remember it myself, but also I can, like, go, like, cool, I just had this cool dream. Like, you know, like, I'm saving the world, and it's really cool, and, like...
Yeah, see, like, I feel that I don't get dreams that often.
Yeah, I don't get them that often, but...
When I get a dream... Well, I mean, I'm sure I get them, I just don't remember them that often. But when I wake up remembering the dream, usually it's one that, like, I will remember... Like, I have dreams from, like, 12 years ago that I remember.
Like, Cole has... Oh, I get what you're saying, yeah. I was like, Cole has, like, repeat dreams.
No, like, this is just, like, a one-time dream.
Yeah.
But I, like...
Oh, yeah, same here.
There was this one that, like, I was so sure my subconscious was trying to tell me something. And I was, like, looking all over in these, like, dreams. I had no idea what it was trying to tell me. I don't think it was actually trying to tell me. It was actually Star Trek related.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just vivid.
Skipping through all of the actual content, the thing that I thought was important was that Worf went up to this guy that used to live at the retirement home I worked at, and he was like, Tim, I'm going to tell you this because I'm your friend. You have a penny on your back. And there was like...
Should have been going on like dream dictionaries, like, penny means 5 different things on each dictionary.
Penny wasn't listed anywhere. I was like...
Worf? No, it's nowhere.
Because he literally, like, he was wearing... like a sleeveless shirt, and he had like on his shoulder, like where you would get like a shoulder tattoo or whatever, you know, he had just like a penny. Just
Are you gonna get a penny tattooed there? Because you should.
Oh, maybe that's the end goal. Yeah. I should have a penny tattoo right there. So it was like he was just, and I like noted that he had a penny on his shoulder, but like it was really important that Worf told him that, and like then I woke up right in that moment. I was like, that is an important line.
Oh, weird. Your brain just like. I had a really, here's a little 30-second dream that I had. It was really creepy.
Give me your elevator pitch of a dream.
Yeah, right? Yeah. It was a few months ago, so I just remember it off the top of my head, but it was, like, one of the creepier dreams I've had, like, that actually kind of, like, disturbed me a little bit. Mm-hmm. But it was really simple. Like, I got up, and I saw, like, I was on the couch, because I had just fallen asleep out there instead of in my bed, and I got up, and I saw Tux, and I, like, walked into to where the bathroom is, and then I look up, and I went, oh my god, this isn't my house. And I had, like, it was just, like, everything, and it just, like, so terror, just, like, what the fuck? And I woke up, and it was, like, so vivid that I had thought it was, like...
That's like, super scary.
It was really disturbing me.
That's, like, I can feel that.
Because you're so groggy when you wake up.
Yeah,
and
you just have that jolt. Mm-hmm. I will say, twice in my dreams, I have murdered.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, okay, murder might be a strong term. I have killed.
Okay, wow.
But it was in defense.
Okay. I've never fought anybody. Well, I mean, like, I had this really cool dream once that was, like, I was actually following these 2, like, kind of Mulder and Scully FBI agents around, because it was more like a movie, and then I was, like, and they were, like, following down this, like, pedophile murderer guy, and they were, like, tracking him down, and, like, you know, it was awesome.
It's very intense. No, I mean, like, one time, there had been a murder in my family's home. And I had, for some reason, brought this person back with me, like a friend from college. And then I realized as I'm like, I don't know why, like there weren't police, like we could just walk through the murder scene. But then I realized that my friend was the murderer. And like I realized in the moment, like as I turned around, that like she was going to murder me if I didn't murder her. So I saved myself.
Nice. I've heard of that men tend to have like fighting dreams and stuff. And I'm curious if that's true. At least
I don't know.
You have to. That's cool.
Yeah. And then another time it was like a secret agent thing. And my friend and I were infiltrating like a government building.
Nice.
And like we were being all super sneaky and like secret agenty, but like this one dude saw us and then like obviously he had to be taken out. He was a liability.
I have had like I'm saving the world dreams, and I was like in a like some weird fighter jet with like very like VR things going on, like very like colorful and all this stuff, and it was like fighting big aliens and stuff. But that was it's abstract murder, not like
abstract murder.
you know, like when Superman kills 10,000 people or whatever.
Right. No, that's perfect.
Anywho,
yeah, this is a long episode already.
And I just want to say also that Stephen King was a humongous influence of my life. Like, I read all of his books when I was a teenager, and I read The Shining when I was 11. That was like my bump up from, I was reading all those Goosebumps, and I was like, I need to bump it up a notch.
Taking it real. Making it real.
And The Shining is the scariest book on the planet.
Yeah, that's like a really big step for an 11-year-old. I haven't. I've just heard how bad it is.
So scary. I wish I could have that experience again, though, because like I can never read it again and feel that terrified. There's moments I had to put the book down, and I was like, and I was like waiting for like these ghost girl hands to like crawl up the side of the round of the bed, and I was just like sat there in terror, just like, it's gonna happen any second. That little ghost girl's coming for me any second.
Well, that might not like be on my list for a while.
It's so scary. Oh my god!
Like, I'll make sure I'm able to like have somebody stay over.
So. I don't know if you watched Friends growing up, but
I was actually thinking about that with the book in the freezer.
Yeah, you had to put The Shining in the freezer. Legitimate. It's fucking scary.
Okay, I will freezer book at some point, and I'll let you know.
None of his other books are as scary as that one, man. Like Firestarter, that's a good, like, solid, not very scary, more like action.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
He's got some good action stuff going on too.
Yeah. Recommendations?
Yeah. Okay. So
newbie recommendations.
Closing out this topic, what we're gonna recommend some stuff if you if you've not gotten into either of these genres, get some good recs.
Yeah.
So as far as sci-fi and fantasy go, for sci-fi, I would super recommend reading some John Scalzi books. I feel like he has a really easily digestible type of writing. His worlds are really cool, but it's not so overwhelming that you're going to be like too intimidated to carry on. And they're not super long books, and they're generally pretty like upbeat and funny too. Yeah. Like there's a lot of humor in them.
Ready Player One seemed to go around as another, like, for some reason that kind of it was very like fluffy. And
Ready Player One. Pretty much most John Scalzi books.
Is that him?
No, I was making that a second on the. So number one, Ready Player One is a good one. Number two, Scalzi books. If you are into Star Trek, I highly recommend Red Shirts because it's hilarious.
It is funny.
Very meta Star Trek thing. And then also The Martian by Andy Weir.
Oh, totally. Yeah,
that's a very
some sciencey stuff going on.
Yeah, I really like that one. It's and he's an actual physicist, and so all the science in the book is like actual legit science. The one thing that he got wrong, in order to realize he got it wrong, some university that was like watching Mars with their super telescope realized that he had the geography slightly off in like this one portion of the book, and they let him know, and he was really excited about that.
Oh, cute.
So I would definitely recommend those. As far as fantasy goes, I feel like, I mean, I'm on a huge Robin Hobb kick right now, but I feel like Robin Hobb books are really, they pull you in really fast. I also really like Lynn Flewelling. I feel like she has a very easy to get into style. And she's written the Night Runner series, which starts with Luck in the Shadows. And she also has the Tamir Triad. And both of those series are in the same world, just like a few hundred years apart. And in fact, Luck in the Shadows, I have a tattoo based on. So yeah, I would say those are my recs for newbies to the SFF world.
Awesome. Mine are some movies again. So I'm just the movie person too. So sorry. I mean, I just, for some reason, I'm like, I start feeling guilty. But why? I mean, you're just a book person, and I watch more movies. So it's like fine.
This is getting a better mix of things.
Some I don't consider them that scary at all, is 80s horror, and it's real classic and some amazing practical effects. I mean, The Thing is also practical effects, but it's really bumped up notch. Some serious practical effects going on. But Nightmare on Elm Street. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
I'm guessing. Yeah, okay. That one's like, it's very cheesy, but great. And that's Dreams. Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
And Hellraiser. Have you seen Hellraiser?
I have not seen Hellraiser.
Pinhead. I hadn't watched that until like last year, and I was like, what the fuck? That's so great.
All right.
All right. And it has, like, it goes really crazy into, like, some, like, because it's, like, Pinhead and, like, some other people are, like, from hell, and they, like all this stuff. You know, it's, like, some paranormal stuff going on, and like, you get into, like, Hellraiser 2 and 3, and it's, like, they're, like, going into these other realms and stuff, and it's, like, well, it was getting really crazy, but...
All right.
And then I was Stephen King. I think reading some Stephen King is fantastic. And I also... Oh, two things about Stephen King. One is that following him on, like, social media on, like, Facebook is fantastic.
So good.
Oh, because he has, like, two corgis.
Yes.
Are you going to talk about this? And he calls one the thing of good and one the thing of evil. And it's so cute. I can't handle it.
I love this.
Yeah, I know.
No, I seriously, like, I follow him basically for that.
I know, and he just seems like the nicest guy. I mean, talking about fantasy, I mean, the Dark Tower series is so intense. That's some epic fantasy going on right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you read that series?
No, but it's another one that's like...
That's an investment of your life, yeah.
Which is partly why I haven't read it yet.
And then I just wanted to say, as like a subset, Joe Hill is actually Stephen King's son. And he also writes horror, and he has a bunch of, and he's really great. He has he wrote a comic called Lock and Key.
Oh, okay, I know this.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic.
Actually, a lot of people see, because I have a set of tattoos on my forearms. One is based on The Martian, actually.
It's based on
and one's based on the Kingkiller Chronicles. And they're a scene that you're looking at through a keyhole, and so a lot of people see them and think that they're based off of Lock and Key. But I haven't read Lock and Key.
Yeah, it's really great. It was one of those ones where I couldn't handle the month-to-month thing, but then I haven't gone back and finished it because it's done now. But I just haven't. I need to go finish it, but it's really great. I
hear great things about it.
Oh, yeah. So Joe Hill is fantastic, and I feel like he's kind of leveled up from Stephen King, and I just love that he's his son. I'm like, makes me so happy.
So good.
So, so
all right.
Recommend it.
Fantastic. All right. Well, we are over an hour now.
I bet.
And so we should probably wrap this thing up. Okay. So as per usual, I'm going to go public radio.
All right.
Thank you guys for listening in. We are working on setting up a Patreon account. We talked about that previously.
We need to plan.
So yeah, we are gonna hopefully do some good brainstorming on that and get that going.
Real thanks. We want to give you some cool stuff.
Yeah.
To be a patron.
Yeah, I was starting to set up our account. It's not, you can't actually get it yet, but I was starting to set it up and just seeing some of the options that they have for the categories of things that you can give out to list. Just immediately I started getting all these more ideas. So we have a lot to talk about after recording this. So yeah, we're going to get that going. But in the meantime, you can help us out by subscribing to us on iTunes and on YouTube. Also by telling your friends about us. Definitely give us a share. And if you want to follow us on social media, we are Marshmallow Mimosa on Twitter and on Snapchat. We haven't actually gotten back on Snapchat since that first time, but one of these days we're going to do it. So you should definitely add us.
I don't like those go away too.
They do go away. So no one will actually, no one actually saw the thing that we posted the first time.
Oh, wow.
I think I saved it in a memories thing, so I think I can actually, I don't know if I can pull that down and repost it. We'll investigate. We're still old people react to whenever it comes to Snapchat. But if you want to give us a follow, at least give us a follow on Twitter because we are actually on there.
Links is actually
I'm on there. I'm a Twitter fiend, so I try to stay up on that.
And Instagram is the place to follow us with lots of cool images.
Yeah. Instagram, we are Marshmallow and Mimosa.
Yes.
And we totally want to start doing some Instagram sharing stuff, so tag us. Yeah, cats. I mean, you guys know.
Poodles.
At this point, you guys know cats and poodles.
And marshmallows and mimosas.
Basically anything cute. Just post it.
Self-care.
Yeah. Post it. Tag us.
Yes.
And I don't know. We want to start doing some cool fun tag things like Follower Friday and
Yes.
all the things.
You can also email us at marshmallowmimosa@gmail.com just in case you wanted to.
Exactly.
Give us feedback.
Exactly. So
Wink thinks that's weird, but I don't believe her. So whatever.
What do I think is weird?
Emailing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like we have a lot of different methods, but whatever
you're comfortable with, we have it available.
Comfortable with. Definitely give us some feedback. Give us a rating on iTunes because that is really important for getting
we should say that up
front.
We should say iTunes reviews and tell a friend. And then go into the long ramble.
Next time.
Yeah.
Sorry, Adrian. Jeez, I'm doing my best.
You are doing such a good job, too.
Thank you.
Because you always handle it, too. I'm just like, critique. Easy for me. I don't even remember all the different handles.
I mean, this is where I can use my...
Some of the feedback will be I'm too mean to you sometime. These days.
Yeah, so, do that. Send
Yep.
us your poodle pictures.
Yes.
Poodle. I don't know why I need to say that. Okay, I had one...
I thought you were going to end on poodle.
Well, but we have our thing, but I actually had a thought. Okay.
I'm ready.
So, we've been doing the To All You Marshmallows.
Yes.
What about To All You Moonshot Marshmallows?
Whoa. Is it like people that want to be marshmallows one day?
People who are shooting for the marshmallows.
Shooting for the marshmallows?
Marshmallows are the people who listen to us
Yeah.
at this point.
Oh, Moonshot marshmallows.
So, but they're
It's
the...
our Moonshot.
Yeah, they're the marshmallows who are, like, shooting for the moon.
Totally. I got it. And I love it.
Want to give it a try?
Yes.
All right. To all you Moonshot marshmallows out there.
Yep.
Keep moonshotting.
Keep marshmallowing.
And poodles. Okay.